Hello and welcome to Paper Plate Julie K. I'm here today to do my updated craft room tour. I know a lot of you guys did watch my tour of my empty craft room, and so now I have been organizing and putting everything away and it's pretty much done, so I figured I would kind of do a little walkthrough. My plan is to kind of do a quick pan around with my camera to show you guys what everything is and what it looks like. And then for those that are interested, I will go into more detail about how I organize some of my things if you're interested in that. Because I had a few people ask about that and categories of how I organize things. And then I also had a couple people ask about what our lake looks like and kind of a tour of the lake. And so I did go out this morning and take a quick video of off of the dock and kind of did a lake view. So I will edit, or not edit it, but I will insert that at the very end of this video for those people that want to watch that. But for now, I'm just going to step into my craft room and kind of do a quick pan around for those guys that want to see that. And then I'll go through the organization stuff for those that want to stick around for that. But I am going to step in, so I am stepping down. I am hand holding the camera, so I do apologize, guys. I don't know how else to do it, though. So that's where I walked in. I do use like a curtain panel because I don't have a door into my craft room. But here's kind of a pan around of my room. Kind of have an island in the middle. You guys can kind of see that. Up top's where all the new shelves went up. And here's the other side of that island with some more shelves. That's kind of where I keep some of my punches. And here, you guys saw this last time too. This is where the sink is. And then here's where I usually craft and work and then record my videos. So here's, if you're looking, here's my little camera mount. If you guys want to know more about that, just leave a comment and I can do a separate video about that. But there's kind of my workstation and my work desk. And so that's kind of my quick view. So I will kind of go through stuff more in detail. So if you guys want to see the organization part, please stick around. For those of you that don't want to, I'm not offended. I'm sure that this is going to be a quite lengthy video, so I'm going to go back and start over here up on the shelf, the little shelf unit that I have up here. I store some of the items that I've made, but also items that I've received from other people, and I try and like change it every now and again, just because I've gotten so many wonderful things from people and I just can't have it all up and out, so I try and change it about. I do have like several totes like this where I put the items that I've gotten from people, and then so that I just change stuff around, especially if I'm having an off day and not quite sure what I want to craft. Sometimes just changing my environment a little bit and putting up different stuff kind of inspires me to do something different. I have some little rolling totes here that fit like 12 by 12 paper. And I do have these categorized. There's like some holiday paper, like Christmas paper, Halloween paper. I do have several drawers that are like devoted to my nieces and nephews that I make scrapbooks for. So I separate out some of their paper and different projects in there. I have a couple other just miscellaneous totes sitting there. Next to that, you can kind of see if I can, this right here, that little rolling cart container, you can see there's like the manila envelopes in there, and that's how I sort my unmounted rubber stamps. And then on top of that, I have some other totes where I've collected some material. One of them is just more neutral material. The other one is like napkins and curtain panels and things like that that I want to take apart and use for some different things. So I'm going to lean down here. This is a little thing that someone made for me. It's just a little garbage thing that just hooks on the side of my desk. But I'll just show you guys my organizations for the unmounted stamps real quick. I'll take out a couple of them in my drawer here. So I do have them all separated out by themes. That makes sense to me based on the stamps that I own. So this drawer that I just opened up was all of my sayings or sentiments. And so I do stamp all my unmounted stamps on there. And like here is the brand of the stamp. And then I have the category up there, but those are the different stamps that are inside this envelope. So then if you open it up, you'll find the sheet in there. And I started this system probably 20 years ago when I first started buying unmounted stamps. I used to go to rubber stamp conventions and they'd have just piles of unmounted red rubber that you could buy. And so that's how I started organizing way back then, and I've just kept it. There's some other ones there. So I have different categories based on the stamps that I have. So like again, that one's just the sayings or sentiment. I do have like some of my holiday ones, and I do move my drawers around kind of according, because I like stuff that I use a lot more often in these drawers because it's closer to my workstation. So then this next little area is my sewing machine that I have. And next to that is another drawer of unmounted rubber stamps. I have quite a few. Again, I've been crafting for over 20 years, so I've got quite a collection. Let's see, over here, this top part right here is a shelf that I repurposed or redid. I'll try and get a little bit closer, but it does open like that, and then it does that on both sides. And so up here I store mostly like the Hobby Lobby trims that I buy, the prettier ones, and I would just wait for them to go on sale. So I store some of them up there. The next shelf down is all of like the colored, like just basic ribbon, and here the spools of ribbon. And so what I do on these is I store them on top of each other, and it's kind of hard to take them out with just one hand, but I do stack them onto like pencils so that I can pull the whole thing out easily and put it back in again. And I just sort them that way, if that makes sense, hopefully. Then the bottom shelf there, again, I just have kind of like the miscellaneous, like the roll of pearls. I had the mesh bling, like the flower trim like that is kind of in there. So I keep that in there. And then if you look down, I have this paper rack, and this fits like 8.5 by 11 paper. I do have it color coordinated, so my reds and my oranges, etc. And these are just basic cardstock. These aren't patterned cardstock or anything. Just the basic colors. Then I also have like, these are like Tyvek envelopes, which I use in my journal making to make my spine stronger. These couple ones right here are like my tea and coffee dyed paper, if I have extras. Just trying to look. I have some specialty like metallic type paper in there. There's some mulberry paper in one of the little spots. So it's kind of, those are some of the different categories I have right there. And then back up again, if I move over a little bit more to the right, I do have a 12 by 12 paper rack. Again, this one is color coordinated. There is just regular cardstock and pattern card or scrapbooking paper in each of these. I do have them categorized by colors at the top, and then down at the bottom, I change these out all the time, just based on like holidays and what I'm currently working on. And on top of that, I have a little Lazy Susan, and I have some just miscellaneous embellishments in little plastic jars in there. And someday I hope to decorate this Lazy Susan, but so far I haven't. But it just, Like I said, just some miscellaneous stuff in there. Like brads, and like here's kind of some coins, you know, decoration type stuff. So that kind of stuff is what I keep there. Off to the right of this 12 by 12 paper rack, I do have another smaller one that a friend gave me. I think she and I traded. I wanted her paper rack and she wanted something that I had, so we traded. Then next to that, I keep one of the rolling carts, and often that rolling cart is close to my desk. But I do keep, like if you're looking at it right now, the top one, I'm doing a junk journal, so I have that right here started. The next one down, I separated out the craft supplies for you. I'm on that design team currently, so I do have all that product in that little sector, just so it's separated. And the very bottom, I just have some, I think what I keep down there is I have some envelopes and my die cuts separated out, so when I cut stuff on my cutting machine, if I don't use it, I have envelopes with different categories like frames and words and stuff, and I stick them in there so that I have them to use later on. Or if someone's doing a challenge and they're looking for extra die cuts, I kind of go through there and just see what I have to gift people. Up on this shelf, if you look, I'm going to back up a little bit again. I'll just go over these shelves real quick up here. So I do have my Cricut on the bottom left shelf. Above that, all my Cricut cartridges. My sister does also have a Cricut machine, so sometimes we trade cartridges back and forth. I do have like a Bind It All there too. The next shelf up from all the Cricut cartridges, again, you can kind of see I have everything in totes. I do like the clear totes the best just because I can kind of see better what's in them, but I also do my best to label everything, but my label maker did run out of tape, so I need to buy some more, so that's why there isn't labels on everything yet. But I do have like washi in a couple of those, and then I also have like the twine. I bought some twine a long time ago at Tuesday Morning, and so I have that all in there. I have an extra container that has extra glue for my glue gun. The very top shelf is stuff I don't use very often, but I still use it once in a while. Like I have a hot pot for my ultra thick embossing enamel. I keep the pieces for my Bind It All, the wire binding up there. I have some wire that I actually do use with beading once in a while, and some wire tools. A product that's called Stamp Board, which you etch into after you stamp. So I have that up there. The next set of shelves here, I'll walk in a little bit closer so you guys can see. So all these right here are my like the 3D paper flowers. I'll try and get close so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. But I do have them separated out into colors. I do use a lot of these on my cards, so I try and pick them up when I find them on sale. And then to the far right, I do have some of these smaller containers where I keep brads and eyelets. Again, I started my little crafting career as a card maker, so we used to use tons of brads and eyelets. And so a lot of these are left over from that time period, but I do use them every once in a while, but they are separated out. Same with these cases. These are like watchmaker cases, and I can open up one of those to show you guys since it's up at the top here. And this is how I used to, when I first started crafting, this is how I would store them. And for a while, I traveled back and forth, and so I did keep like a set in there along with these ones, but eventually I am going to clean these ones out and probably get rid of these metal watchmaker cases, but for now they're in there. See the next shelf up, just some more of those eyelets and brads again. This little container has the little ribbon roses in it. These ones are all labeled with a lot of different things, like this is like bling and pearls. I have some miscellaneous ephemera. These are metal pieces. This is like ephemera that's more of a vintage type theme, so I put that in there. I have a whole thing of buttons. This is a whole bunch of Tim Holtz stuff. And then if you go further up, I'll just read the categories. Because, like, again, I had some people ask about what kind of categories I separate stuff out into. So the categories up there, I have like a paper doily one. I have one that has like glassine bags and paper bags that I use for decorating, Happy Mail, those kind of things. I have one that has little notepads in it, just those decorative notepads you buy at Tuesday morning, because I do use them, but I also gift them out. Let's see, I have another one that has like wood frames that I use like on my covers of my junk journals, so I have that in there. One of those little containers has what's called fabric images, so it's images I printed on fabric just so that they're separated out. And then as far as kind of the little containers go over the sides, I have one that's like the decorative brads that I haven't opened up yet. I have ones that has like words or sentiments on them, whether they're like little acrylic pieces or like Tim Holtz stickers that has sayings or sentiments on them. I put them in there. See, way at the top, I have like wood pieces. I have like my straws that I use when I make wands. I have some board books up there. And then, of course, the far right up there, I have all the composition notebooks that I really need to keep on working on and decorating and get them out of my room here, because then I can have more room for other stuff. So I'm going to back up again. And so, again, off to the left, I went through all the paper stuff. And then here I kind of have some little cubicle type storage system. And these all stack and they can be rearranged easily. They're each separate. So each little piece here can be taken out and moved around. And I'll go through those real quick for those that want to know. Again, I have more paper. So here's like all the Tuesday morning paper when I buy the basil paper that comes in different colors. So I have it separated out by color. And then I'm trying to remember this little drawer down here, the one underneath it. I have like paper napkins that I use in my junk journals. Way at the bottom on the floor, I have some little art journals. I do some art journaling every now and again. Some of them are empty and there's nothing in there. I have a binder where I stamp all my unmounted stamp images, so I keep that there. Next up here, I have all my stickers in here. And then I do like this one. I do put names on them, so if people gift me stickers, I put their names on it. Like that one came from Sheila, who's Art of Life Sheila, here on YouTube. But I do keep all my stuff, stickers in there. The next one here is like ephemera and miscellaneous stuff. This is stuff that maybe I haven't opened up yet. So I'll pull something out just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Like that's a Bo Bunny like journaling card set. Here's some more things like this. Just miscellaneous stuff. I just found these at Tuesday morning the other day. They're little fabric books, so I stuck those in there. You know, here's some flare, bling, that kind of, you know, there's some Tim Holtz stuff in here. Just a lot of miscellaneous stuff. I kind of know what's in here, so easy for me to remember. This bottom one down here that I'm pointing to with my foot has like fibers in it, so yarn fibers, that kind of stuff. I do have some tulle in here too. So I have that, and then I'm gonna stand up here. I have some more paper. This is the paper I turn to most to use, like, so think of like your Prima papers. I have a couple of the Downton Abbey pads that one of these days I'm going to start making something with them. A few of the Hot Buy pads from Michaels are up here, just kind of some of the prettier paper I keep here, or the paper that I like. Next, I keep tissue paper in here. To the right of this, up at the top, I keep just some of the other types of flowers. Like, I just got that one from Shonda for my birthday. Isn't that pretty? And, you know, packs like that with these kind of flowers on them. Some of the Prima flowers. I do have some of the butterflies in here too. Like butterflies like that. So I keep those in there. The next shelf down here, I have like all my 6x6 paper pads. So I have a lot of them here, and then I have a few of the miscellaneous, bigger sized 8x8 ones right there. And then below that, I have another drawer of fibers, but these are more of the eyelash trims. Off to the left, in this little cubby here, I keep mostly my graphic 45 chipboards. You know, that type of stuff from graphic 45. There's some Bo Bunny stuff in there too, some ephemera packs from Bo Bunny. I keep more of my favorite paper company ephemera stuff, paper packs, and chipboard in there so I can easily find it. And so that's that little section. Again, I kind of have a little island in the middle of my room. Okay, so here's the next little sector where I store more laces and trims. And again, I decorated this. I painted it myself and decorated it and scuffed it up a little bit. But it does open again from either side, and I keep my prettier laces and trims. These are the trims that you buy by the yard from places like Craft Supplies for You. Some of it's items that I've been gifted from people. And then I do also do a lot of thrift store shopping and looking for laces and trims. So when I find stuff, usually you can find them in big baggies, and then I will go ahead and wrap them around little things like this is mat board. And so my husband used to sell and do his own matting and framing, because we used to sell his pictures at craft shows and stuff. And so these are the remnants from when he cut out like 8x10s and the 4x6s, the little pieces in the middle. And so instead of throwing them away, I kept them to use for organization. I also use them to make covers and stuff in my journals. Instead of throwing them away and recycling, they work great for wrapping trims around them. Off to the right, I keep a little bit more of my Hobby Lobby trims. So here's more of the trims. I did purchase some D-stashes, and again, I pick up a lot at the thrift store. And then the bottom couple, I do have some of the beaded trim that you can buy like at Hobby Lobby by the yard. I have been fortunate enough to find a lot of this off of their clearance rack, and so I wrap it around those again. Just some of my prettier laces. I've been gifted some of those. And then the very bottom one, these ones are more of the remnant and smaller pieces, like off of the ribbon spools and stuff. When I get down to almost the end of the ribbon spool, I'll go ahead and wrap them around the mat board and just kind of color code them a little bit by color. Like you can see the red, the orange, the yellow. So when I work on a project, if I want something red, I usually come here first before I grab a whole new spool, just to see if I have something that works down here. So that's the middle sector. Up on top of the shelf, I do have, like this is like the string beads. Here's some elastic, and then here's like metallic thread. And then this little basket, I just have some little clips that I have hung there that I've gotten from people. But inside the basket, like when I go to the thrift store, I look for things like this. This is probably like 20 yards of this eyelet trim, and then I'll go ahead and wrap it around mat board, and then I'll store some of it in another spot. I'll also gift some of it to people. But I do buy like, here's one of the things that I bought from Hobby Lobby off of the clearance rack. So I need to wrap it around stuff. But that one is actually a really good deal. I got that for 10 bucks, and it's normally $10 a yard. So, and I got like 10 yards. So that one was a good deal at Hobby Lobby. So that's that little sector.